Now let's take a look at example 1. So 2 music websites provide the latest and the greatest song from your favorite artist, from Bieber to the Beatles. Coldwire charges an annual membership fee of $20 per year plus 50 cents for each song. QTunes charges 75 cents per song with no membership fee. So write an equation for each website. Now, again, in order to write an equation, we have to have a let statement. Let, so as you can see here in the question, I see per and each. And I think I gave you guys hint that every time you see per or every or each, that's going to be your slope. But in this case, there's no membership fee. So what we're going to assume that we're just looking at for 1 year. Okay, so per is going to be based on the number of song per song. So let's say let X be the number of songs that are downloaded, and let Y be the total cost, right? How much is going to cost you to download a song and for a membership, if there is. So for Coldwire, it's going to be Y is equal to, it's 50 cents per song. So I'm going to write 50 cents in dollars, so 0.5 X, and there is a one-time fee if I'm assuming that we're going to do for 1 year. So it's going to be $20 for 1 year, assuming. And then for QTunes, on the other hand, the total cost is 75 cents per song, so 0.75 X, but there's no membership fee. So there's no plus or minus. Now that we have the equation, we're going to graph both equations and for up to 100 songs. So let's do Coldwire. Y is equal to 0.5 X plus 20. And QTunes, it's Y is equal to 0.75 X. So let's do X. I'm going to go up by 20, okay, because we're doing 100 songs. So 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Now for Y value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 0 into my X. So 0.5 times 0 plus 20 is going to give me 20. And then 20 times 0.5 and then plus 20 is going to give me 30. So you're going to do all the calculation by using your calculator. And this is what you're going to get by plugging into this equation. Same thing, I'm going to plug in 0 into X, and 0.75 times 0 is 0. And then 20 times 0.75 is going to give me 15. Okay, so now that we're done, we can draw the graph. So it's going to be the total charge, y-axis, versus the x-axis, which is number of songs. And don't forget, you must underline the title. Now let's label my x-axis number of songs. And I'm going from 0 to 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let each 4 units be 20. So 20. So another 4 unit is 40, 60, 80, and 100. Okay. Now for Y value, it's the total charge. and I'm going to write it in units in bracket. And it looks like the charge is going from $0, that's my smallest number, all the way up to $75. So just by looking at this space, let's see. So I'm going to make every two squares 10. So hopefully that will be enough. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Okay, great. Now let's plot the points. So the first graph, I will do it in blue color. It's going to be 0 at 20. So I'm starting at 0, 20. When it's at 20, it's 30, 40, 40. 60 is 50. 80 is 60. And 100 is 70. Okay, so I'm going to connect the points. This is equation 1, C. The next one, or actually I'm going to write the equation. I'm going to do it in red color. And we're starting for this one, it's at 0, 0. When it's at 20, it's 15, so it's in between. And when it's at 40, it's 30. When it's at 60, it's 45. And then when it's at 80, it's 60. Oh, they meet at the same point here. And when it's at 100, it's 75. Okay, so let's try to connect the points. And don't forget the arrow. So for equation 2, y is equal to 0.75x. It looks like we have a point of intersection here when it's at 80. So my point of intersection is 80, 60. Now, so determine the point of intersection. So the point of intersection here is at 80 songs, and it's going to cost $60 for both companies. So it means that for 80 songs downloaded, both website charges $60. Okay, so what advice would you give someone who is deciding which website to use? Well, for example, if I were to download a song that is less than 80 songs, it's definitely better to go with equation 2. Because if I'm downloading 0 songs, you're paying $0. But if you go with if you are going with cold wire, then you have an initial fee, which is $20. So it's definitely, as you can see from the graph, it's cheaper to go with the Q tunes if you're downloading less than 80. But on the other hand, if you are downloading more than 80 songs, then obviously the Q tune is higher. So it's better to go with the cold wire because it's going to be lower here after the 80 songs. So just by looking at it, looking at the equation, we know that this is going to be my partial variation, meaning that it doesn't start at 0, 0 because I have an initial fee. On the other hand, Q tunes, this is a direct variation because it starts at 0, 0. So direct variation Q tunes is better if you are downloading less than 80. Okay, so that's how you decide based on the point of intersection if downloading less than 80 songs, go with QTunes. If downloading more, these are the sentences that I need to see. Less than or more than the point of intersections. Then go with cold wire. Now let's see. So this is lesson number 10, which is graphing application part 2. It's the same idea. Let's take a look. So Joe has 26 coins that are all dimes and quarters. The value of the coin is 410. How many dimes and how many quarters does Joe have? So it looks like we have to define the variable and write down the equation for the total number of coins and the total value of the coins. So when we are given like a money problem, we always set, because it's asking how many. So we say let X be the number of dimes, and we say let Y be the number of quarters, because that's what the question is asking. So first equation, let's write down based on the number of coins. So we have 26 coins in total. So we say X plus Y equals 26. The second equation is the value of the coins. The value of the coins, you always multiply the number of coins that you have. So for dime is 10 cents and quarter is 25 cents. So I say for the value of the dime is 0.10x, and then plus the value of the quarter is 0.25y, and when I add the total value, it's going to give me 410. So I did it in dollar sign, but if you want to do it in a cents, then you could do 10 cents plus 25 cents equals 410 cents as well. You could do this. Okay? Whichever is comfortable, you can do one or the other. Okay? Just be consistent. So now that we have the two equation, we can graph the equation using the intercept method. Now, to do the intercept method, we have to find x and y intercepts. So let's write for equation 1, x plus y equals 26. So let's do x-intercept and y-intercept. So for x-intercept, we always say let y equals 0. And for y-intercept, we say let x equals 0. So now that we know this, so I'm going to plug in y as 0. So it looks like x is 26. So my intercept is 26, comma 0. For y-intercept, I'm going to let x equal 0. And it looks like y is 26. So 0, comma 26. So this was pretty straightforward. Now what about for the second equation? So I'm going to go ahead with, we could definitely do this equation or this equation, doesn't matter. We could go with 10x plus 25, okay, based on the cents. Okay, but either way, you will get the same answer. Okay, just remember your units are going to be in cents. If I do this way, so x-intercept, y-intercept, always make a table and write a reminder that we have to, for x-intercept, we have to let y equal 0, for y-intercept, x equals 0. So 10x plus 25 times 0 equals 410. So this becomes 0. Okay, so it looks like it's 41. And for y-intercept, I'm going to plug in x as 0. So this becomes 0. So when you divide 410 by 25, you're going to get 16.4. So 0, 16.4. Now let's graph these two, all 4 points. So it's going to be so this is going to be x, and this is y. So x, we said, is the number of dimes, and y is the number of quarters. So x is number of dimes, y is number of quarters. So your title is going to be number of quarters versus the number of dimes, underline. For number of dimes, for x, I have values that are going from 26 and 41. So I'm going to let each 5 spaces be 10 because I need up to 40. So this is 10. Every 5 space is 10 again, 30, and 40. Now for y value, I have numbers that are going from 26 to 16.4. So I think same thing, I'm going to let every 5 space be 10. 20, 30. Okay, now let's plot the points. For the first equation, x is 26. So each unit is going to be going by 2. Okay, because there are 10 units within the 5 spaces. So I did 10 divided by 5 squares. So each square represents a unit of 2. So it's going to be 26 here. Yep, 26 here. And then when it's here, 26. So it's 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I'm going to connect the points. Okay, sorry. Okay, now this one, I'm not going to go beyond it with an arrow because you cannot have a negative dimes or negative number of quarters. It has to be a positive. So for this one, it's going to be x plus y equals 26. For the next, I have 41 for x-axis, so it's about here. And then 0, 16.4. So it's about 16, so 2, 4, 6, just right over here. And then let's connect the point like that. Okay, so this is 10x plus 25y equals 410. So just by looking at the graph, it looks like we have a point of intersection here. Okay, so point of intersection, it's not exact. So it looks like it's at, I know it's a little bit off, but it should be at 16, comma, what is this? It's at 10. Okay. So determine the point of intersection. The point of intersection is at 16, 10. And what does this mean? Is that Joe has 16 dimes, that's X, and 10 quarters. Now remember, you cannot have a decimal number of dimes or quarters. It always has to be a whole number. Okay, good. Now let's do one more question. Example 2. The cake box makes specialty cake pops and cupcakes. Each pop costs $3, while each cupcake is going to cost $2. If 15 of these items were ordered at a cost of $36, determine the number of pops and the number of cupcakes in the order. Okay, so it looks like our let statement has to be the number of pops and number of cupcakes. And we want to write two equations because we have two unknown variables. One equation is based on the number of items, and the second equation is based on the cost. So we could say let X be the number of pops and let Y be the number of cupcakes. For equation 1, based on the number of items, there are 15 of them. So we could say X plus Y, there's 15. And based on the total cost, well, the pops is going to cost $3, so 3X plus, and the cupcake is $2, so it's going to be 2Y equals, in total, it's going to be 36. So that's my 2 equation. So we are going to use same thing, intercept method. So equation 1, X plus Y equals 15. Equation 2, 3X plus 2Y equals 36. Let's make table. So to find x-intercept, we are putting y as 0. So it looks like 15, 0. For y-intercept, I'm putting x as 0. So my y-intercept is at 15. On the other hand, for this equation, x-intercept, so I'm going to let y equal 0. So this becomes 0, because anything times 0 is 0. So it looks like it's 12, 0. For my y-intercept, I'm going to let x equal 0. So this becomes 0. So it's going to be 0, 18. Okay, now let's label the axis. So we said x represent number of pops and y is number of cakes. X, y, number of pops. Is it? Yeah, number of pops. And then number of cupcakes. And then for title, number of cupcakes versus number of pops. Underline. Now to figure out the units, I'm going to look at my x value. It looks like my x value is going from 15 and 12. Okay, so I'm going to, it's a small number, so every 5 units, I'm going to make it 5. So I'm starting 0, so every 5 square is 5. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just as long as you try to fill the space and it's increasing by the continuous number, then it's okay. And for number of cupcakes, for my y value, I'm going from 15 all the way to 18. So same thing, I'm going to let each 5 space represented by 5, 10, 15, 20. Let's label. So for the first equation, it's at 15, 0, x-intercept, and my y-intercept. So let's connect the points. This is x plus y equals 15. For the next graph, I have x-intercept at 12. So it looks like 5, so each square represents 1. So this is 12, and then this is 18. And then let's connect the points. Okay, so this is 3x plus 2y equals 36. Okay, yes, so I noticed that we have a point of intersection here. So it looks like the point of intersection is at 6, and this is 9. Okay, so that's my point of intersection. So point of intersection is 6, 9. And what does it mean? That means that so x is supposed to be number of pops. So there are 6 pops and 9 cupcakes in the order. And that's what it means.